The class began, and I knew that it was going to be hard. I tried my best not to put up my guard. I'm glad I didn't because I've learned a lot. Not all children are built like a robot. We all learn differently, and it's important to know so that our students are not tuning out saying, "Whoa." This video is going to show you that learning is fun. I still cannot believe that this class is done. Module 1 was taught by Alan November. His name in education is not hard to remember. He taught me that we have to let students take charge of their learning, so when they go home to complete their homework, their brains are not burning. His presentation showed us that students do their best when they are not constantly asked to perform just by a test. We have to give students the freedom to choose. Their assignments will turn out so fantastic, they may even make the news. I know when I have my own classroom that I will implement this rule. I want my students to know that their brain is an amazing tool. Module 2 showed us that reading can be fun. We must not assign it until this one step is done. It is so important that we perform a readability test so that our students do not think that reading is just a pest. We learned about the closed procedure and much more. After learning this, I think I have found the cure. When teaching math, it is so difficult to implement a book, but we must make it interesting enough to get students hooked. From now on, I will try to create opportunities for students to read because I know that this is something that they are going to need. Module 3 taught me that we need to include the student. By doing this, they will know that they do not always have to be so prudent. We watched a video about a girl that did not just want to work. I wanted to think of a way to make her smirk. I learned that we must also be entertaining, just as long as all of the information learned is pertaining. When I have my own classroom, I want us to all work as a team. By doing this, I know that all my students' grades will beam. Module 4, and we were halfway done. It was strange to me because I felt like we had just begun. We learned about the violent reader and how we can help. It was a way that we could prevent the student from wanting to yelp. I worked with my cousin to teach her how to measure. By the end of the session, it had been my pleasure. I taught her that math is not all about the book. When we are finished, she was so excited to go cook. I mixed something that she did not enjoy with something that she did. Her fear of math was vanishing away. She was no longer just a kid. I was so happy with what I had done, we actually ended up having a lot of fun. Module 5 was surrounded by UBD. It was something that had always been very interesting to me. We had to create a lesson that would pertain to the whole class. By doing this, it would allow the opportunity for everyone to pass. UBD is all about inclusion. It gives our students the look of a fusion. We must create our lessons to include everyone, even the blind, and remind our students that they should always be kind. Every student is different and they do not all learn the same, but if we implement UBD, we cannot be to blame. I learned that I need to write all of my lessons in the UBD format so that my students respect me and do not use me as a doormat. Module 6 was entitled, "You Want Me to Learn That?" Dr. Mansour really made us try on a different hat. She put us in a situation we were not comfortable in. At first, I thought of it as a sin. She showed us that if things are too hard, students will just give up. By the end of the module, I was saying, yup. Dr. Mansour had proved her point that we must do a readability test so that our students want to do their homework instead of just rest. Module 7, and we were almost done. By this point, I was feeling that I had already won. This module was all about different learning needs. As I was working on it, it gave me many leads. We learned about the blind and those that cannot hear. After reading the articles, I understood that it was hard for them to endure. We must write our lessons so that they include everyone. I don't want any of my students throwing up their hands saying, "I'm done." I learned that it was hard to show videos in math. When I read your comments, they made me laugh. You gave me the advice to use them even more. With entertainment, students won't be so quick to run to the door. I hope that I get more comfortable using reading and videos in my class because I've learned that it will appeal to the mass. As our class has come to an end, I can honestly say that it was fun. I still cannot believe that we are all done. I'm going to take everything I have learned with me. Inclusion, UBD, and readability tests are key. I truly have enjoyed this class and it has taught me a ton. I cannot wait to have my own classroom and begin to stun. I will astonish my co-teacher with all of my new tricks. She will ask me where I learned them, and I will say Dr. Mansour gave me the mix. The ingredients of what makes a positive, inclusive room. I feel that this class has really helped me bloom. Thank you for everything that you have taught me. I will try to be the best teacher that I possibly can be.